Good afternoon, everyone. This is attorney Ahmad Yakzan from the American Dream Law Office, and I am coming to you from Tampa, Florida, our new office in Tampa, Florida. We literally just moved to down the street and down the hallway, literally. So um, we are here to help you. We're still on 10936 North 56th Street. Our suite number is 201 now instead of 202. So we're here to help you in anything immigration. And I thought that today we're going to give it a couple of minutes for people to join. But for today, what I am going to do is dedicate this live for any questions you have for immigration court. So if you have any questions, if you're in immigration court, or you have a friend who is in immigration court, or you have anyone in the family who's in immigration court, they've been detained for a very long time, I am going to answer all of your questions regarding that. Okay, so you guys just fire away. If you have a case yourself, please don't put anything personal on your in your question. Don't say it's me, don't say anything like that, because I don't want anyone to be watching or anything like that, and you will get in trouble. So if you have any questions regarding immigration court, fire away. I do need to ask you guys a favor. I am working on getting my numbers higher on my YouTube channel. We do have about 2,000 followers on there, but as you guys know, I probably need much more than that to monetize it and um monetize it and get some people to follow me. So if you could please just Google American Dream Law Office on YouTube, and or you can go to my website, which is adlo.law, and you can actually connect with our YouTube channel from there. If you could do that today, I would really appreciate it. And as usual, I would really appreciate it if we could get some follows here in TikTok. And the reason why I'm asking for that is we are almost at 40,000 likes right now. I mean, 40,000 followers. And I want to make it 50,000. But what we're going to do is we're going to settle to reach 40,000 followers today. We're only a couple hundred away. So I think we are able to do it. If you all could actually also share this live with other people, I would really appreciate it. I do have about 30 minutes to speak to you all about anything that you guys are worried about regarding detention, regarding anything. So again, I'm here to answer questions. If you all have any questions, just drop them in the chat, and I'll be more than happy. To answer them. All right. So, what do you? What one of the things that people don't know is that people here in the United States, even if they're undocumented, even though they came to the United States without inspection, um, they have what's called a due process right. Now, that due process right is being violated these days, and I tell you, it's probably being violated more than I have ever seen it violated. I've been doing this for 15 years, and things are really hectic these days, and especially for immigration attorneys. I posted a video a couple of days ago on YouTube, and someone commented that immigrants don't have any rights that the United States citizens have. But and I really didn't want to say anything regarding that to that person, because I really didn't want to get in a back and forth. But if you step foot in the United States and the government is trying to remove you, you have what's called a due process right under the Fifth Amendment, meaning the government can't just put you on an airplane and send you out. Now you're going to say, well, maybe they don't deserve it. Maybe they're horrible. Maybe if we start not giving the rights to people who are here in the United States in an undocumented way, uh, we go on a slippery slope. And I think the government could take away rights for everyone else if we stop giving them to people who are undocumented. So I always argue that the more people that have rights, the better. So what do I mean by due process? You have a right to a fair hearing. Now, I'm going to keep my views about the I am going to keep my views views about the immigration court system to myself today, but that is the due process that you get right now in the United States when it comes to you being in removal proceedings. I'll explain a couple of things after I answer this question. It said, if I put my case in May 2025, do I qualify for a good faith? Hi, Young King. Do you have an attorney right now? If you do have an attorney right now, and I will ask him that question. But if you do, I guess if I'm understanding you correctly, you were placed in removal proceedings on in May 2025, and you have a T visa. You should hire an attorney, and when you go to your next hearing, tell the immigration judge that you have a T visa pending, and see what they would do for you. In the old days, they probably would have closed your case, uh, but these days I don't know. But you do have, if you have the good faith letter, that might actually help you get out of removal proceedings. Guys, if you can hear me, my goal for hearts today is 500. I would really appreciate it if we can reach it. If you guys can drop some hearts, I would really appreciate it. Um, and as I said earlier, I do need some follows on YouTube and follows on here. So if you could please follow me on YouTube, I would really appreciate it. I'm gonna drop the link in a second. Um, and we are very close to getting um, 40,000 followers here on TikTok, and I would really appreciate it if we could please uh, get that done. I would really appreciate it. I think we're only like 100 or so away from getting to that goal. So if you could please follow us here, I would really truly appreciate it. Okay, how do removal proceedings start? Um, Removal proceedings start with something called a notice to appear. And the notice to appear gets issued and it gets served on the person that the government is trying to remove from the United States. Now, there are a lot of things, a lot of protections. People have to get it, um, have to get it the right way. It has to have the right information. I have successfully moved to dismiss a lot of notices to appear before, um, because they had deficiencies in them. What I mean by deficiencies, sometimes they have the wrong court address on them. So how could someone have fair notice if they don't have the right address of the immigration court that they're going to? It's not. Sometimes it's not signed, and if it's not signed, that means that it's defective and it could be dismissed. Now, the next thing that you have to understand is in immigration court, you can apply for a lot of things in immigration court. Um, One thing that you can apply for is asylum. If you and a lot of times, people who end up in removal proceedings applied for what's called affirmative asylum, and they ended up referred to the immigration court to prove their case further. So that's one way for you to actually end up in removal proceedings. When that happens, on the notice to appear, it will have a date certain for you to go in front of the immigration judge. And you need to go in front of the immigration judge sometimes in person, but some immigration judges actually allow you to appear on what's called WebEx. WebEx is the one that is like a Zoom service um, that the government actually uses. If you appear by WebEx, you have to look nice. You have to appear in front of the judge by WebEx, and you have to identify yourself. One of the things that you get for you to have a fair hearing in immigration court is a translator. So if you don't speak English well, they are going to give you a translator, and they usually have Hispanic translators, Spanish translators on staff. So if you need a Spanish translator, you will be able to speak to the judge in Spanish, and or whatever language you need. They will have it for you. I'm pretty sure they have every single language in the world. The next thing that you will do is you go to the master calendar hearing. Usually the government and the judge actually gives you an extension for a while, and after that extension you come back for another hearing, and if you're ready, the judge will set a date for what's called an individual hearing, meaning that is your individual case for yourself. The master hearing, when you go to the master hearing, you literally have like 100 people, depending on how big the courtroom is. They will have a lot of people. They will have a lot of people in there. Guys, if you're watching us and you're really interested in this, I see a lot of people are joining. Please, please, please drop some hearts. I'm not asking for diamonds or roses or anything, but I just want some hearts, if you don't mind. And if you could follow us, I would really, truly appreciate it. Just follow us on TikTok. Again, I'm trying to get to about 40,000 followers, and I think we're only like 100 away. So if you could please follow us, I would really appreciate it. So what was I was talking about the individual hearing. So in the individual hearing, if you're ready to go to the individual hearing, what's going to happen is that you're going to be by yourself in front of the immigration judge, and once you're in front of the immigration judge, you will prove your case. And if your attorney has done this for a while, if your attorney knows how to do removal proceedings, what will happen? You're gonna end up testifying. You will be able to submit evidence ahead of time. You will be able to have other people testify on your behalf. And at the end of the individual hearing, you will end up, the judge is going to issue that decision. Now, winning in immigration court has become much harder, as you can imagine, because there are things that are being placed on immigration judges that have never been placed on them before. What I mean by that, their caseload is skyrocketing. Like people have a lot. Immigration judges have a lot of cases that they have to deal with. There is burnout. There is the threat of them being removed if they approve too many cases. There is a threat of them being removed if they approve the wrong case, for example. So it's becoming much harder to win in immigration court. And you have to have an attorney who is versed in immigration court. You can't just go hire a criminal attorney or a civil attorney to do it, because honestly, the immigration law itself, it's very, very complicated. So once you have that decision, what will happen is you will get 30 days. If you're unhappy with the decision, of course, if you win, you win, but the government will get 30 days to appeal that decision. And these days they're actually appealing grants more often than I like, because usually they appeal cases that should not be appealed. Sorry, I'm going to answer the question. Ninth Circuit remand to EAR. How many chances to win the appeal? Brown, I really can't tell you, my friend. I have nothing to. I don't know anything about your case. If it was remanded for a constitutional issue or anything like that, it will depend on the strength of your case. I don't want you to speak to the particulars of your case, please, because I don't want anyone to be watching this. who's the wrong person. But what I'm saying is, it depends on the reason why they remanded the case down back to the BIA and the immigration court. If it was a substantive thing, um, if it was a substantive thing, meaning that the immigration judge denied your asylum when you should have gotten it, it should go very quickly. But if it's a constitutional question that was in your appeal, then you will have to have you have to get a new hearing in front of the immigration judge to determine if you still qualify for the asylum or not. I understand that it's a relocation case, but you're going to have to speak to your attorney, and if you need to speak to me regarding your case, I do take cases over removal cases in California and the Ninth Circuit. If you want to call my office, the number is 888-963-7326. I will drop it. And if you want to call and schedule an appointment with me, I'll be more than happy to speak to you. So that is my phone number. That is my phone number. Just call my office and I'll be more than happy to speak to you if you want to speak to me about your case. All right. So I was talking about immigration court decisions, and immigration court decisions, as I said, if you're happy with the decision, uh, excuse me guys for what just okay. So if you're happy with the decision, you don't have to do anything. The government will probably appeal it. But if you're unhappy with the decision, you get to appeal it to a higher court. That higher court is called the Board of Immigration Appeals. And if you are in front of the Board of Immigration Appeals is pretty much a higher court to review what the immigration judge did in your case. So if there is any issues or if they made any mistakes of law or fact, you will be able to appeal it. And what's going to happen if they sustain your appeal, if they approve your appeal, what will happen is they remand it back to the immigration court for them to take a new decision, maybe have a new trial, maybe have a new individual hearing, not trial. Once that's done, if you win, you go back in front of the immigration judge and you get to prove your case again. If the Board of Immigration Appeal does not approve your case, what you have to do is appeal. By law, you have to appeal to something called the Federal Circuit Court, meaning you have to go to federal court for them to review the immigration judge's denial. And these are very complicated cases. These cases, you have to prove constitutional issues. You have to raise constitutional issues in front of the circuit court for you to be able to win and for the case to be remanded. Like my friend Brown, um, he had the case remanded back to immigration court. So if you need, if you and not a lot of attorneys do these cases, you have to be admitted as an attorney. You have to be admitted in front of those courts individually. You can't just be admitted in the state court. Okay, so you have to apply. The attorney has to apply for it. I have a couple of those cases that are pending right now. I have a case in Texas, a case in DC, and a case here in the 11th Circuit in Atlanta. I don't know what's going on, but you guys are not asking that many questions today. I only got two, and we only have a couple more minutes. I'm gonna stay here on for a couple more minutes. So if you want to send me some questions, please do it right now because I will leave in a couple of minutes. And if you guys could give me some hearts, I would really appreciate it. Now, there are a couple of things that are going around, and my friends who have friends in detention probably have heard about something called habeas corpus. And I've done those cases a lot. The habeas corpus petition is if someone has been in detention for too long, you have to get a hearing in front of an immigration judge for a bond or get released. And you have to prove that your detention is illegal for you to be able to win on a habeas petition. Once you prove that your detention is illegal, then you will be able to get released from detention, or at least get a bond in front of an immigration judge for you to be released from detention. And those cases have skyrocketed since last year because the ICE is detaining a lot of people unlawfully. If you or your friends or family members have anyone in detention, again, my phone number is 888-963-7326. Make sure that you call me, and I will be more than happy to speak to you about the chances of getting your family member or your friend out of detention. Unfortunately, this is all the time that I have for today. I will try to be on almost every day if I can. You guys have a wonderful day. And remember, in this country, you don't have to take the government's word for anything. You can always, always, always fight for your rights in the United States. And if you need a fighter for your rights, you call me. I'm Ahmad Yakzan from the American Dream Law Office. And again, my phone number is 888-963-7326. And if you want to check me out online, my website is adlo.law. And I will see you guys next time.